This is Jonathan Aguilar, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Gareth A Davies for the first time this year. Gareth, good to see you. How's everything going?
Good. Can we say Happy New Year or not?
Yeah, why not? Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year to you, my friend. How you doing? Let me just get my lighting right very quickly. You carry on.
Gareth, we'll go straight into it. I'm sure you would have been watching Saturday night. Dalton Smith,
Yeah,
new
all of it.
WBC champion. What a performance. What's your reaction to that?
Amazing performance. I love the fact he went out there and fought fire with fire. They had completely the right strategy, Jonathan. I didn't expect him to win by stoppage that early. I thought he'd win a very close, tight decision if he was at his very best. It was an incredibly exciting fight. The fact he chose to fight fire with fire, in fact, started the fire really, started very confidently, very well. I thought spoke volumes for the plan that Grant and he came up with. And you've got to give them their flowers, as we now say. You've got to give them their props for those victories all the way from youth, schoolboy youth, all the way through every single level to becoming a formidable world champion in what is one of the great victories by British boxers abroad that ranks with anyone else that's ever done it. Buchanan, Stracy, Brooke, Barker, Fury against Klitschko. Who am I forgetting? Lloyd Honeyghan against Donald Curry. He belongs in that mix right now, and we'll be able to see over the next 2.5 years, 6, 7 fights, whether he's capable of being elite class as well as world class.
Yeah, a serious performance. Just moving on to Germany. Shame you weren't there because the atmosphere was unbelievable at the Kabayel fight you've probably heard about. But
I
yeah, what?
watched it. It was amazing. It looked incredible. And I've been to Germany many times.
Mm,
Felix Sturm, Marco Huck, the Klitschko's, David Hay against the Klitschko's, many Vladimir Klitschko fights. No, I'm very aware of it. All the way back to Danny Williams, even people like him, Matt Skelton going over there many years ago. Probably did 25 different fights in Germany over time, when the Sauerlands were involved and Mick Hennessy was involved over there, K2 Promotions. It was great to see my friend Bernd Bunter working for DAZN on their broadcast with DAZN Germany. It looked incredible, even though Agit looked a little rusty at the beginning of that fight. He got the job done.
Yeah, what did you think of his performance, the stoppage, everything?
I thought the stoppage was right. It wasn't premature. Damian Knyba was clearly hurt, but difficult and awkward early on. I thought Agit was a little bit too hittable, but then again, he has been down in those fights against Arslan Makhmudov, Frank Sanchez, Zhilei Zhang, and he has come back. He does go to the body. He is a close quarters guy, so he worked Knapper out and he put in a decent shift in the end. But the thing that really came out of it was how popular he is as a local figure and a national hero, and I think they can build on that and double and treble the audiences. Notwithstanding the fact that he rightly called out Oleksandr Usyk. There's a Daniel Dubois fight for him there. There's a Philip Hergovich fight for him. There's a crossover fight with Fabio Wardley, if that works. There's Moses Itauma out there for him. There's so many great fights for him.
Yeah, and I will mention Lawrence Okoli was ringside as well, calling
Lawrence
him out.
as well.
But it doesn't seem like Kabayel's team are interested in that. Do you think Usyk will fight him, or do you think he's looking at the WBC, the Wilder fight?
Yeah, I think he is, but I think they're looking at the money in that fight as well. That does it make sense? Can they make it make sense financially? Who's going to show the fight? Do they need to go the way of Amazon to compete with Netflix to get it on that platform and have a series around them and really build them? So there's probably a bit of work to do with that. They've divorced themselves from Riyadh Season, the Usyk team, by all accounts. Does that mean they're trying to leverage with Turkey Al Sheikh for money? We know he's been paid huge sums, truckloads of gold for those fights with Daniel Dubois. Potentially that was a big earner. And obviously the 2 fights with Tyson Fury. He may change course over that. We know that Deontay Wilder wants the fight. He was blatant and obvious about that at the EBA conference in Dubai in December. So, you know, we shall see on that one. I think it will need to work in a business sense for that to take place, in my view.
And Tyson Fury is back. In April, we're hearing a few names in the mix, including Matt Madov. I don't know if you saw John Fury's comments. He doesn't.
I did.
He said, he's not particularly happy with it. But yeah, what's your reaction to that and Fury coming back?
Well, he was quite honest about it, wasn't he? He was saying that my son really misses boxing. He's not a happy man when he doesn't have boxing in his life. He's understanding that. I think John's happier when he's got boxing in his life as well, with Roman and Tommy, and obviously Roman fought the weekend, and obviously that's where John was interviewed. And he said he wants to test the legs of Tyson Fury in camp. Fury, obviously, being he's got that movement, he's got that heat around him now that he wants to be on social media. He's telling us about him again. He's got his son Prince who's coming on in it as a boxer. Hook on the bag. Proud his father's talking about him. So it's going to be great to have Fury back this year. Like you say, Makhmudov I'd heard as well, could be a potential opponent. I like the call-outs of Fabio Wardley and Tyson Fury. I get it. Great opportunity for Fabio. Look what he's done in his last 4 fights. He could beat Fury in his mind. I think Fury beats him. I do, but it's still a great fight. You can see the pathway for Tyson Fury. If he wins the WBO title, he could look towards drawing Oleksandr Usyk in for that third fight and maybe that's becoming more realistic at the moment, given empathy towards Anthony Joshua, and the fact that if the Wilder Usyk fight doesn't happen, there's movement there. So you see why those chess pieces actually moving on the board make sense.
Lastly, Dan Raphael reporting last night that Charles Martin, FA Jagba is going to be on the TKO boxing. Not didn't go down too well, but yeah, what's your opinion on the fights they're putting on?
Well, I mean, it's a very quiet card to begin with, isn't it? With Callum Walsh headlining. They're going to slowly buy people up. They're going to they're not going hammer and tongs. They're not trying to buy out people and bring the biggest names to begin with. They'll work their way into the market. It's going to be fascinating. I love the verbal duels between Eddie Hearn and Dana White right now. That's going to be a lot of fun. Turki Al-Sheikh will be the great disruptor in that as well, and be fueling the fire and saying, my guy's going to do this, and Eddie needs to watch his back and all these kind of... So it's great fun. To the same breath that Oscar De La Hoya's talking about come on, Eddie, accept the fight with Virgil Ortiz for Boots Ennis. He may be going with Al Heyman. He may be, we're hearing potentially ending his DAZN deal, or at least looking at it, and that's what we're kind of hearing. So loads of things in the works and so much going on, Jonathan. Work backwards. In February, we're going to have Josh Kelly fight for a world title. We're going to have a potential Conor Benn fight next, of the winner of Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, February 21st. Work back Nick Ball early in February. Will he face Naoya Inoue this year? I really hope that fight happens. Work back to the end of January. On the same night, Adam Azim against Lemos. Can he prove, and I do think he's a difficult proposition for Dalton Smith, can he prove that we're looking at him in world-class terms and building that fight on the same night that Shaka Stevenson takes that big leap, if you like, of physicality and faith and boxing skills against Teo Lopez at Madison Square Garden, on the same night that BKB Bare Knuckle has 4 world title fights on his 50th event in Miami. What a beginning to the year, which puts in perspective, and it's a shame that Moses Tauma is injured and we're not seeing him a week on Saturday in Manchester. It softens it for all of us because there's so much going on.
Yeah, and that fight got rescheduled, so that's good. March 28th. Gareth, appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your trip. You're
Back
back.
tomorrow.
you're back on TalkSport on Saturday, so
Yes.
don't miss that.
Yeah.
And yeah, appreciate it, Gareth. Speak to you soon. Can't get my words out.
Great to see you as always, my friend, and have a blessed and manifested 2026. I shall see you soon.
Will do. See you soon. All the best.
Cheers.